Mario, a Swiss car guy on YouTube, and today I'm sitting on some stairs because I bought a house. Yes, these are the stairs of my house. And this was the reason why I said in the last video that I am a bit broke because I just spent a lot of money on this house. And this is only the second time I've ever been here. The first time was when there was the viewing of the house, and today is the second time. I just bought the house, I got the keys, and I'm here now. So I figured I'd take you on a tour of the house. It's not much, but it's what I could afford. And I am not going to tell you in this video how much the house cost me. However, I want you to guess in the comments down below after or while I do the tour here, guess how much this house cost. And in the next video I will reveal how much I paid for the house, what my plans are, and what the whole process was. But I thought in this video I'd take you on a little tour. It's a tour of discovery for myself because, again, it's only the second time I've ever been here. I've looked around a bit and found a few things that are not good. So this might be a things that are wrong with this house video. And there are many things wrong, and I think there are many more that I still have to find. So let's go! And let's start right here in the living room. There is some stairs that go upstairs, but that's for later. This is basically the living room. There is sort of a chimney, a very large one, and a oven. So if you want to burn wood, yeah, there's a wood burning stove in here. Also, what is behind here, you might ask? It's a wood elevator, apparently. So there's a wood elevator. I have no idea how this works, but if I ever want to bring up wood from the cellar, I guess, there's an elevator for that. Cool. Okay. The living room, it has an open ceiling, so it's very, very high, and there are some windows with some, I think, tape that is rolled back, so I have to address that at some point. But this is the living room. Let's see if I can get a better shot of it, because it's kind of tight. It's not that big. Then from the living room we go to the kitchen, and you will notice this, I don't know how to tell you, this metal gate things here that's between the living room and the kitchen. It's like a separator, a little room divider, which is completely superfluous, by the way, but it's a sign of things to come in this house, because the previous owner, he was like a smith, a metal worker, and he did a lot of these ornate decorations things that, yeah, if you like the kind of thing, great, otherwise not so great. I think he also did the shroud for the oven here, so fantastic. Also, there's this little arch, and under the arch is the kitchen. There is room for a table here, but there is no table. And the kitchen, which is not great, because first it is quite small. I mean, there is loads of space here, but the kitchen is only this. Also, this kitchen, while being sort of wood and it's not very pretty, I don't like it at all, and it doesn't have a dishwasher, so I bought a house without a dishwasher. The kitchen, I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I'm most likely not going to replace it yet, because once I replace it I would change it completely and increase and make it much, much bigger. But this is the kitchen. Right now my camera gear and stuff is there. There is an oven, it works, I tried it. Yeah, but I mean, I have to change it. Behind the kitchen they added like a wooden separator wall that is really ugly. I wouldn't have built it like this, but what can I do? At least there are beautiful lamps in this house. From the kitchen straight ahead is the entrance with the underside of the stairs. All of this in beautiful, beautiful pine wood, which I don't like at all, but I will have to see what I can do about that. Then there is the bathroom, which is very dim, so let's turn on the light. And now it's still very dim. This is quite a small bathroom. And the doors don't stay open. This is quite a small bathroom. It has a washing machine inside it because this house does not have a washroom, a laundry room. So the washing machine is in here, and you cannot even have a dryer because you couldn't stack it on top of the washing machine because there's a window, and you couldn't have it next to the washing machine because there's no space. So this is the bathroom, and it's quite small. This is the only bathroom in the house. There is a small toilet upstairs, but this is the only place you can take a shower. Then here we go into the bedroom, the large bedroom, which is not very large at all. It may look so on camera, but it really isn't. This is about, I think, 10 square meters. It's really small. And also in front of the windows, of course, there is this metal grates things that the previous owner built himself. But this was the big bedroom. Then there, behind this screen door, because, there is a screen door. There is another bedroom, which has, I have no nice words of putting it, shit on the walls. Literally, it's full of shit. This is really bad. And the reason is very simple. The previous owners, they kept birds. So this was basically their bird room, and they were allowed to do whatever the hell they pleased, apparently. So there is shit everywhere in this room. On every wall. There's no question that this room needs to be painted, and maybe I need an exorcist, I don't know. But even there's traces, it's really bad. This is really not good. Also, this room is tiny. It's about 9 square meters, and for some reason they added this window, which in a room this small makes no sense because there is a window there. By having this window there, you cannot even put a large wardrobe on this wall or a bed or something because the wall is very short. Also, this house, as you can see here, it basically has roller blinds, which this one is very, very broken. But for some reason, on this window, they didn't put on roller blinds, but like shutters, like manual shutters, and also 2-piece ones. It doesn't make any sense. And here's a close-up of the shit on the wall. Beautiful. It's a miracle it doesn't really smell in here, but it's bad. And the screen door. And this is basically already it. This is the whole ground floor. There is a second floor upstairs, sort of a second floor. It's like what we call in Switzerland a gallery, because it's like half a floor. Let's go upstairs. These stairs are very narrow. Okay. Now from upstairs you can look down onto the living room, which is very useful, or for some reason. And there you can see the weird windows with the foil that has completely shrunk and most likely needs to be replaced. I don't know. Also, it's going to be fun to clean up there. But the upper floor, there is like this completely useless space here, which is really for nothing. Then here We have the small toilet room, which is really just a toilet and a little sink to wash your hands. So there's nothing else. At least you can like look at the stars while you take a dump. So fantastic. Then upstairs here there is this weird room, which is really just a room. It's like a large room, but there's this doghouse back there that I don't know what the purpose of it is, because it's just making the room smaller. Then obviously the lady who lived here used to hang the clothes here. And another nice thing, or not so nice thing, up here, walking around, I can hear noises downstairs. So this floor is not very stable or well built. There is a skylight, which is nice. And the skylight even has an electric shutter, which is very nice. Let's try it out. It's slow, but it works. However, this very large window here doesn't have any form of shutters. It has nothing. So this is a room you cannot basically darken. Also, there's a radiator here, which I'm not very sure about, because this house has in-floor heating, but maybe the second story here doesn't. Here there's another sort of room. Wow, this makes a lot of noise. This is also very dark. Maybe the light turns on. This is just a sort of a storage room, which is actually quite large. But also these rooms up here, I call them rooms in quotation marks, they just have room separators in it. They don't have proper walls. So they're open and it goes for every one of them. Ow, god damn it. That's an aluminium profile. Just walked into that. I just walked into this. Fantastic. But you see, even this room, it's not a proper room. It's not properly separated. It just has a big hole at the top. Apparently there's also a light that I don't think works, but okay. Here's the dog house, which I just call the dog house because I have no idea what they did in here. There isn't even any light, but again, another weird room separator for no reasons. But there is these showcases here, because apparently the previous owner was a model train enthusiast. So he has these showcases everywhere. And everything is in this beautiful, beautiful wood that I absolutely love. Let's go down. Also, for some reason, there is like, what is it, MDF or plywood here in front of the little handrail. I mean, sure, whatever. Let's go outside. There is a little sunroom out here, which, I mean, it is indeed sunny. It is very ugly, of course, because it's all full of this wood. And also, there are these sort of lamps made out of old, Prosecco bottles. Very bizarre. Right next door, there is a big house being built, which is kind of nice because beforehand it used to be a junkyard. So that's good. Out here, there are some. Under the tarp, I guess that was supposed to be plants or things, but no. And let's go outside. There is a barbecue or chimney or whatever, I guess this is also something the previous owner built himself because he was a smith, so that makes sense. The house is obviously sort of dilapidated because I think it's been uninhabited for like a year. And the people selling it, they tried taking care of it, but I think in the last weeks or months they did nothing. So everything is really overgrown. So I need to get like a weed whacker immediately. And maybe also an exorcist, because there is stuff like this. I mean, what the hell is that? That looks like it's alive. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And also there's like this gigantic planter, which is, I have no idea what to do with this stuff. Oh yeah, there's also, if you check it, there is like a antenna with, for a flagpole with a wind wheel at the top. I mean, at least I know which way the wind blows. Very interesting. I cannot really go back here because, yeah. Now you might wonder, what is this shed here, this low shed? And if you think it's low, just wait a second, let me get close to it. You see how low that is? That is actually not a shed. It is in fact the second story of one of the garages downstairs, because obviously I wouldn't buy a car without any garages. I'm not daft. Yeah, there's also whatever the hell this is, like storage box or something. There is this panel down here lying down. I have no idea. I mean, this was probably here for reasons, but I have to see. And of course there are plants growing out of everything, so this needs a big clean, and rather sooner than later. This is the front of the house, which has a little porch, a little veranda. Yeah, of course. And if you look down there, you will have noticed what appears to be like a tower. Yeah, that is a silo. The previous owner started building it. I think his intention was to store pellets for the heating, and he never got around to finishing it. And also, this house has wood heating, so it heats with wood, but not with pellets. It has a heater that can only work with pieces of wood. So I have no idea what he was going on, but apparently he had a plan to fill this up with pellets and then build like a transport system that would bring this all the way down there to the heating room. It's yeah, he never finished it, and it's also kind of weird, but let's go towards it. I'm not going into it because I don't have the keys for it. Also, there's nothing in it, and I have a Tupperware full of keys, by the way. You see more grass. Let's go into the jungle here. On the ground you see, that is, I think it's the roof for the silo. And it's tall. It's a fucking huge silo, seriously. I reckon it's about 5 meters tall. No, wait. It's more like 6 meters. That's like, the door is like 2 meters. Maybe it's 5 meters, but it's very tall. And then there's this roof. And also back there behind the roof, I realized there is some sort of an old machine. I have no idea what it is, and I seriously doubt that it still works, but here is a big ass machine, which you can barely see because it's overgrown. But there is a machine here. I have no idea what it is and what it does. But yeah, and it has some lines going, I don't know where. So this is turning into a jungle expedition here, though. And then back there are some stones and stuff, and yeah, I need to clean this up Toronto. Again, everything is overgrown here. I think this was supposed to be lawn, but right now it's really a jungle. So even the way here is all overgrown. I need to whack this stuff away, because this is the way down to the ground level. There is also a pair of stairs on the other side, but I'm not taking them because there's a dead frog. I think it's dead. So I've trimmed everything down a bit. It's much better, right? Also, the back part. There's still vines and shit growing everywhere, but that's what it is right now. Still haven't trimmed back there, so yeah. I still have to get to that part of the jungle. But this, I mean, it doesn't look nice because it's obviously not a lawn, but it's trimmed down. And also there is not as much overgrowing on here. It's still a lot, but you know, it's a bit improved. Yeah, and also there's these metal sculptures kind of everywhere because, well, the previous owner, again, he was a metal worker, a smith, he did all these. And now that we're going down, you probably also see 2010. Because yes, this house was built in 2010, even though inside it looks like 1982, it is from 2010. And now you might wonder why. Because it was built by old people. Yes, the woman and the man who built this house, they were in their 70s. And this is also why there is stuff like this, which you might wonder, what is it? To me, it looked like one of these, you know, little pots that you have in Italy where you usually have statues of a saint or something like that inside. And that's what it is, because I saw an old photo where actually there was a saint or something like this, or a Madonna or something like that. Here's another ornate metal gate. But this is basically the front gate to the house. And as you see, there's a sculpture back there, there's a sculpture back there. The property goes on a little bit around the corner here. And yeah, if we come to this place, we see another, well, I call it a shrine. It even has a little illumination, which is very badly made. But apparently there was like a saint's figure or something in here. So fantastic. Anyway, this is the square. Well, the square, let's see, in front of the house, which is basically technically the back of the house, since the entrance is up there on the other side. But we start with this, which is a workshop. This is about 80 square meters, and it's rented out to a couple of guys who work on motorbikes occasionally. So I have only been here once, and that was after I bought the house. And I hadn't seen it before, but it's actually a nice little workshop with reasonably high ceilings, because this was built as a workshop, so ceilings are high. And these guys will stay. These cars obviously aren't mine. They are from the tenant in the other workshop. This is the one I will take over as soon as he goes out. And this is another workshop, which basically was the main motivation for me to buy the house, because I always wanted to have a house with a workshop in it where I can work on cars. And this should be large enough for me, and if I ever need more space, then I can give the notice to these guys and then use this space as well. So I should have way more than enough space for cars for the foreseeable future. Then here is the exterior of the larger garage. Yeah, there's not much to say about it. interesting is you have all these like roof stuff that's very wonky. Of course, the previous owner did it himself because he was a metal worker. So, okay. And here is the second garage with sort of a shanty shed on top of it. So yeah, there are pallets with, well, wood in it. And if we go a bit closer, you might realize that I don't believe this garage door has ever been cleaned in its life. It's very, very dirty, and even I haven't gotten around to cleaning it yet because the property is quite large and, you know, reasonably decrepit, so cleaning it up is kind of a lot of work, and this is just an area I haven't gone to yet, especially because I'm not using the small garage yet because it doesn't have a garage opener. It is very small, so I could basically only park my Cayman in there, and it needs cleaning up because everything is kind of decrepit. You see, rust, of course, dirt. I mean, yeah. This is the bottom part of the flagpole. Yeah, all these. Yeah, it's not very nice. And the shanty town aesthetics continue up here with this like shelving for wood where they stored wood. And I mean, I need to store wood because I still have the wood burning heating. But I mean, this has got to go, especially because it looks terrible. And on the other hand, also, getting into the garage is not that easy because the space in front is quite narrow. So if I could get rid of that stuff, I would have like, what is it? Almost a meter more space, and that would make getting in and out of the garage much easier, because right now I can basically just, with the Lexus, I can drive in from there, drive in and then have to back out the same way I came in. I cannot back out this way because, maybe because I'm just a very bad driver, but it's very difficult. And also, this thing is filled with, you know, basically trash. Yeah, it's all trash, and a lot of pallets are on here. And if you notice also, these things back there are on pallets. Also, there is this old e-bike, which apparently also belongs to me. Fantastic. But a lot of pallets, but there's no like pallet transporter or something like that, so I will have to buy one of those as well in order to move all this stuff around. If you look up, you see the second story of the garage and the solar panel, and yeah, and up there you can also see the wind turbine, the little propeller on top. So yeah, I mean, it's not pretty, but yeah, that's kind of what it is. I already had to remove a dead frog from down here because there was a dead frog, but now it's gone and there's just flies and shit. So okay, let's go in here, which I have locked for security reasons. So let's unlock it. Not with this key, but with this key. Good. Good. And there we find a Lexus. Right. Yes, I finally have been able to park my car inside my own garage, which is a good feeling. It is very dark in here. Maybe I can turn on the light. Yes, there are lights. This is the Lexus. This is the large garage. And by large, I mean, well, it can fit a Lexus and there's some space in front of it. What is underneath there? I have no idea. I also already bought a weed whacker. Yes, and I transported it in this. So I managed to fit this gigantic thing into the Lexus. And I also bought some other gardening supplies because apparently I'm going to start gardening now. Hooray! I wonder if there's something underneath here. Nope, it was just... I have no idea why this is there. There is a door here, by the way, the bigger garage, which is just a single garage, but it's long, so I reckon my Cadillac would fit here because the Lexus fits and there's like 2 more meters or so. So that's good. This garage door is somewhat broken. One of the tensioning wires has snapped, and it still operates, but I will have to fix it. Let's go into this smaller garage. There is a door here, which is not ideal if you've parked a car, so I will have to look into that. And again, no light. Light. Okay, light. So, this is the smaller garage. And this is truly a small garage because I think the entire length of this thing is like 5 meters. So I think the Lexus will not even fit inside here. So this is something for a smaller car. And even the smaller car, before I can park it here, I have to remove like these things. There are just like spikes at the right height to destroy your car. The previous owner used this as a workshop, I believe. This is why there's like stuff on the roof and so. And the real estate agent, she told me the garage door is broken, it won't open, maybe the remote's broken, but she just didn't know why it wouldn't open. So I found out why it wouldn't open, because there is no garage door opener. So this is a manual door, so I will have to add a garage door opener to this as well, and probably move these lights, because the garage door opener rail, no, maybe not, maybe they can stay, but they are kind of haphazardly placed. I mean, wow, some of this wiring is not fantastic, I have to say. But this is the small garage, and you can see that the previous owner uses this as a workshop, because there's like, it has its own breaker panel, and this is 3-phase power, so this is 380 volts or 400 volts or whatever, and these are some regular 220 volts. But this is full of 3-phase power, which means I can use welders and heavy machinery, and they also brought an outlet over here, which is nice. I haven't yet found the key for this door, but I think it's there, and many ropes around here. The way this whole thing is built, there's spikes everywhere. So I have already hit my head on some of those, and this whole place is basically tetanus waiting to happen. But you see, there is some stairs, so let's go up the stairs. For some reason, there's also a mirror up there. No idea why, but let's go up the stairs. Oh look, and there's some protection on this beam to not hit your head. But in my case, it's more like I wouldn't hit my shoulder on it, because, yeah, this is not a high room. This is actually, it was described as being 1.60 meters of height, but if I go, it is sloped. So back here, I can stand. God damn it. This is full of animal, is it droppings? But it's definitely animal traces. So I think up there must be like a mice home or something like that. So awesome. So I need to get rid of mice as well. But this is like a workshop. There's also a 3-phase power outlet here, which you cannot see. Yeah, and there are some windows, and everything is dirty, because this is basically a house that's been vacant for a while. There's also this thing that I have no idea what it is, but it's full of nails and stuff to just destroy your head. So yeah, this is the gallery above the small garage. Something that surely could be used as some sort of a little workshop or something, but right now everything is dirty, everything is full of spikes, you can hit your head about everywhere. This is not great. Also, there is these here everywhere. I have no idea what they do. Literally no idea. Every room has them, even the apartment upstairs. No idea what this does, because nothing turns off when oh, there's even 2. I have no idea what this does. Literally no idea. Let's walk around to the Lexus. Oh yeah, there's also this, which is like, there's a little small solar panel somewhere up here, and also a little small wind turbine, which he has a diagram of here. And they were supposed to hook up to some batteries here, and then they would provide power to some whatever. I have no idea. The guy who lived here before me, he was sort of a tinkerer, and he tinkered a lot, but yeah. Let's go back here. Here is the cellar. It's not large, but I think, well, it's just very small, but it's a cellar. I mean, what do you expect? Back up here, there's also some spare, tiles and whatnot. I mean, sure, nice. Now you might wonder, why is it full of wood here? Well, there's wood everywhere. The reason is very simple. This house has a wood heating. So this is the heating room. It's very dark. And this is the wood burning heater. It's like a wood carburetor, they call it, because it's so efficient. But it means that at least every 2 days you have to fill it up with wood. So great. And there is some, stuff that's left. This is some ash, more wood. It's a mess. This is really a mess. And then there's a little crawl space underneath the stairs outside, and there is stuff there, wood, and I have no idea what there is. I still have to find this out, but yeah. And then there's this thing here. This is like right at the height of my head, so I have no idea why they built this. It's sort of a platform to store things or whatever. But I think this is something that will have to go, because I cannot walk underneath it because it's too low down. Because if you see these drawings here and whatever, the previous owner was sort of trying to build a pellet, like a chute that would bring pellets down from that silo outside, but it's really far away, so I have no idea what his plans were, and I am not going to continue this because this is not going to work for me. But also I have no idea what there is back here, because that looks kind of massive, whatever it is. I have no idea what this is. I mean, there's something underneath here. Maybe I could remove these screws and then have a look, but I really don't know. But it's basically a heating room, nothing special. It's very, very dirty. And yeah, nothing particular here. So there's also empty conduits and stuff coming out of everywhere. Oh, this goes into the garden, I'm sure. Because that would explain why there are these empty conduits in the garden. Oh my God. Oh, and I sort of haven't mentioned it yet, but this house is actually located in Schaffhausen, which is at the very north of Switzerland, actually north of the Rhine River, which is very unusual for Switzerland because usually it's south of it. And it's also the only town in Switzerland that was bombarded during World War II by the Allies because they mistaken it for a German town. Anyway, this is within the city limits of Schaffhausen, just barely. And I think this is relevant if you want to know how much it could be worth. And now you might ask, Mario, why did you buy a house in Schaffhausen, of all places, which is, over an hour from where I live currently? The reason is I have been looking for a house for a while, and especially I've been looking for a house with enough space to work on the cars. And these are quite difficult to find in Switzerland because Switzerland is kind of a densely populated country and real estate is expensive and so on. And I had always looked, outside of Zurich because Zurich is impossible. It's too expensive. This house in Zurich, I reckon, would have cost at least 2 or 3 times as much. And I never really considered Schaffhausen until, and this is the car-related part, I bought my Trans Am. Because I bought the Trans Am sight unseen from Schaffhausen. So I took the public transport and went there, and that was only the second time I've ever been in Schaffhausen. Then I realized, man, Schaffhausen is actually quite close. So my commute to work from Schaffhausen would be sort of the same length as my commute to work from Langnau, which is basically only 10 kilometers south of Zurich. So I started to include Schaffhausen into the range of possible home locations, and then after a while this house popped up and I got it. And I will not tell you how I got it. I will tell you in the next video, where I also go about the costs of what this thing cost me. And the more I look at it, the more things I find that are wrong with this house, with this property. I question my sanity whether that was the right move. But basically everybody in my family says I've done the right thing, and it was certainly good. And I personally think this will appreciate, so I don't mind it. But I have to say, I am quite a bit overwhelmed by it, and not emotionally. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of work, because cleaning all this is going to be a lot of work, and also maintaining it. I mean, cutting down the grass and the bushes and plants. I mean, even those things, I have to maintain them. I have to cut them, and below there's even a larger patch of trees and grass that is basically all wild now, that at some time I will have to take care of. So either I become like a ace gardener, or a gardener will get some money from me, and not a little money, quite a lot. But yeah, this is the house, and it's also, you might notice from the location, it's kind of a industrial neighborhood. This is not a good neighborhood of Schaffhausen. In fact, a work colleague from Schaffhausen, when I told him I bought the house here, he basically asked me whether from now on I would go on to work armed, because this is basically the infamous bad neighborhood of Schaffhausen. But I mean, the bad neighborhood of Schaffhausen. Next door they're building like this huge apartment complex, this huge condo complex. Huge, I mean, there are like 21 apartments, but I think that also helps to, you know, gentrify the place, make it nicer, and raise property value. So I'm not worried at all. I'm just worried now that I have to get the house ready for me to move in, because I've already given notice to my apartment and all my garage spaces I've rented. I need to move here by the end of September, and I need to do some work, but I will not go into this in this video. I will go into this in the next video. So if you're interested in house content, please subscribe to the channel. Consider following me on Instagram. I might start posting about the house now, because I haven't yet, because I didn't want to reveal it yet, you know. I wanted to keep the tension arc high. And there will be car content as well, because I mean, I bought this house mainly for the cars. I don't really care about the house, it just has to be a place I can live, but I want to have space for the cars. Effectively, until I really start doing work on the cars here, it will be a couple of months, because the tenant who has to move out, he has until the end of September to move out, and then we also have to see whether he actually does move out, because you never know. But from then I should have the workshop. Then I have to, of course, clean it out, set it up the way I want, and then at some point I will be able to do some even serious work on cars. And I'm really looking forward to that, because that's something I've always wanted and I've never done. Because, you know, if you don't have a space for it, then you don't start dismantling a car, and then you have to put it back together in the evening. It's just annoying. So this place is, as weird as it seems, it's sort of my dream, because it's a place where I have a workshop in the house, and I can dismantle the house, I can leave it dismantled, and if I get fed up, I just leave everything as it is, turn off the light, go upstairs and take a shower, and then come back 3 weeks later when I'm motivated to continue. So this is a huge deal for me. And also, I mean, I think it's still a huge deal for somebody, a millennial, being able to afford a detached house, even though it is in a sort of bad neighborhood. And yeah, but I'm quite happy with this, and it's a good feeling having my own house, even though there are obligations, and a neighbor already told me we need to cut down trees and stuff. And also, I want to point out that you can probably figure out where I live, because there are like companies nearby, and it's kind of easy to figure out. And the house also is quite easy to spot, because not many houses have a silo in their garden. So this doesn't mean you're invited to come. Just want to make sure, don't come visit me unless I invite you, unless we talk in private. So please I like to share this thing with you because I basically share my whole life with you because this is my life. All I have, it's for you to see here. And respect my privacy. Don't come here. And if you want to come visit, then write to me, please. And maybe you can come, especially if you have like a gardening company or a cleaning company or a constructor company, then you're very welcome to come. But I think I've rambled on enough. This has been a very long video, a video of discovery, of course, because this house is like the gift that keeps on giving. And I'm ending it now. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Subscribe if you want to be up to date on what I'm doing here. And have a nice day. Bye.